2 nights ago, the moon looked like a teacup that had lost its handle and was on the verge of tipping, stars spilling out like milky splashes. I thought it looked a little too cliche to write down. Last night, a meteor shower cried white, fast-forward tears from infinity's edge, and Monday night bloomed from a lame cliche to a beautiful observation of nightlife is not always a high life, and things are not always as pretty from the ground. I wonder who made the phone call to police about the young man jumping from the 13th floor of Turner Hall on UNC's campus. Was it someone who heard the double-pane fixed window break, or someone who watched his body flash by like a bird failing in flight? Or was it someone out on a late-night walk who saw his body hit the ground with the momentum of a desire to die? I spent 4 years in high school with Morgan Terrell, yet during my visit to an internet cafe in Tanzania, when the news of his death popped up on my Facebook newsfeed, I thought all the talk was of some celebrity, some football player who had died in sudden tragedy, didn't even recognize his name, but his face, I can't forget. It's a face I never bonded with, a smile I saw in the hallways but ignored, lips I saw performing in the auditorium but hardly made conversation with. The police make statements like, a person named Morgan Terrell, and I get angry at the simplicity, the flatness like the metal slab of the autopsy room, as if that is a reflection of who he was, just a person. I get angry, but who am I to claim there's more when I barely knew him myself? Some people we don't recognize as part of our lives until we are scrolling through the online guest book attached to obituary. I've never set foot on that campus, but I have a clear image in my head of his body in the grass aerial view like they have for actresses in episodes of Law and Order. Clear image in my head of the top floor, boarded up window. Broken windows are temporary. That one will be replaced. Freshman students in 4 years won't even know the significance, but suicide is permanent. Suicide is so permanent. The word twists in my gut with the intention to stay. My best friend and I talk about Morgan's death, and I tell her, you know, I've been there before. My lowest of lows, contemplating how to do it. But honestly, I believe that in that very last second, before I jumped, before I kicked the chair, before I pulled the trigger, I would regret my choice, but it would be too late. I sit here, tears in my eyes, wishing they were falling stars that could hold him back down to earth in case he wished someone held him back the second his feet left the window that wasn't meant to be open. There are frames in our lives we aren't meant to pass through, doors that are meant to be kept shut. Morgan, you didn't have to take that step. You've fallen for more than a stage on an off night. I know this is useless now. I guess it's more for the listeners. If you feel like you want to fall from a 13-story stage, stay up there. Hold the spotlight to your eyes. Steal the microphone. Put up red flags as flyers so you have an audience and an ambulance. Discard the gun like a piece of evidence you don't want the best detectives to discover. Tie that rope into a figure 8. You know, it looks just like the infinity sign. That's your life. And please, pretend that ledge is just a stage and step down, because if you jump off, results are permanent. And everything else, the pain or the numbness, the tears or the lack of feeling, this poem, everything else is temporary. This too shall pass, so you don't have to. Rest in peace. Morgan Terrell, born January 12th, 1992, departed December 3rd, 2011. Rest in peace.